Welcome to class, sixth graders. We are doing lesson 98 today, talking about the sum of the angles of triangles and the sum of the angles in quadrilaterals. Okay, triangles, three-sided figures, quadrilaterals, four-sided figures. Okay, so in the book, I have to adjust my camera here. In the book, it shows us that when we have a triangle, if we were to walk all the way around that triangle, we would make 360 degrees and we would make 3 turns. Okay? So in the book, it talks about how interior angles are the angles that are inside a figure. Exterior angles would be considered the angles that we form kind of like when we make a turn if we're walking outside of that figure. Okay? Interior angles, exterior angles. Okay? Same thing on quadrilateral. Interior angles, exterior angles. Okay? So, what we need to think about today are 2 things. And these are things that you need to memorize. Okay? They're both listed on page 509 in your book in a long rectangle. Okay? And the first thing says that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's an acute triangle, obtuse triangle, right triangle, scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. If we add the 3 angles of a triangle, the interior angles, they must add up to 180 degrees. You need to memorize this. Okay? If we add the 4 angles of a quadrilateral, they must add up to 360 degrees. Okay? So what we need to think about is if I walk all the way around this triangle, I'm going to make 3 turns. That will give me my exterior angles. The interior angles of the triangle, if I add these angles, 1 plus 2 plus 3, they must add up to 180 degrees. Okay? If I walked all the way around this quadrilateral, I would make 4 turns. Now this one is not a regular quadrilateral, is it? It's not a square, it's not a rectangle, this is just a quadrilateral, okay? My angles on the inside, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 must add up to 360 degrees, okay? Memorize, okay? Memorize. It's a pretty easy lesson today. The big thing that you have to do with this lesson is just memorize your things about interior angles of triangles and quadrilaterals. Now these are not the examples in your book. I chose different examples just to give you some extra practice. If you are wise, you'll go back and look at the examples in your book and try those in addition to what I'm giving you, just to give you some extra practice. Here's a triangle. I've given you 2 angles in the triangle. See if you can figure out what the 3rd angle of our triangle must measure based on what we just learned from page 509 in our books. Okay? 80 plus 70 make 150. All 3 of them together have to add up to 180. So 180 minus 150 leaves me with 30 degrees. So this angle right here must be 30 degrees. Okay? This time I have a quadrilateral. Remember what the angles of a quadrilateral must add up to, and see if you can figure out our final angle here. $100 plus 110 is 210, plus 70 is 280. I know that all the angles of a quadrilateral must add up to 360. So 360 minus 280 leaves me with 80 degrees for my missing angle. Okay? This is a fairly easy lesson, but it is 2 things in this lesson. There are 2 things in this lesson that you need to memorize. Okay? The sum of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. The sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. Okay? Pause your video now. Go ahead and work on your practice set A through F, and then start it back up again. Okay, I've got these drawn on this board here. I'm doing the lesson at home today because it was a fairly easy lesson and I didn't need my smartboard. So on A, B, and C, we're referring to this quadrilateral that's been cut with a diagonal to make two triangles. Okay? So A says, what does angle 1, 2, and 3 add up to? 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you saw those were three angles of a triangle, and they must add up to 180 degrees. Okay? B says, what's the sum of angles 4, 5, and 6? Another triangle. They must add up to 180 degrees. C says, what is the sum of the measures of the four interior angles of the quadrilateral? Well, this is the quadrilateral here. Okay, so they're talking about this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. They must add up to 360 degrees because the interior angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. Letter E is about this triangle here. It says, what is the measure of angle P in this triangle? Okay, well, I said 75 and 30 make 105. 180 minus 105 left me with 75 degrees. Okay? E, what's the measure of each interior angle of a regular quadrilateral? Well, I hope you remember that a regular quadrilateral is a square. This is a horrible square. Regular means all the sides are the same length. Quadrilateral means four sides. So I need a four-sided figure where all the sides are the same length. That's called a square. Okay? If on a square, all the angles are the same measure, so 360 divide by 4, 90 degrees. 90 degrees. F was a little tougher. It said on F, Elizabeth made 5 left turns as she ran around the park. So I had her starting here. Okay? She made left, 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 left. Draw a sketch that shows her turns and find the average number of degrees in each turn. So we're looking at the outside, the exterior angles. Okay? So when she ran all the way around, she went 360 degrees. She turned 5 times. That means each turn measured 72 degrees. Okay? Okay, so give me an email with a phone number if you need to ask me about any of this. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you have got it down. Okay, look at your examples in your book. Let me know if there's an issue. If not, go ahead and start on your assignment for this lesson. And I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.